Keep watching as we transform this rundown shed to an insulated reptile room. Step inside Miller's Critter Cabin. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lindsay, this is Miller's Critter Cabin, and in this video we step into the cabin for a tour of the reptile room. As our reptile collection quickly outgrew our little cottage, we set about transforming a rundown outbuilding to house our collection. Surrounded by nature in the Forest of Bowland in the north of England, what better location for a dedicated reptile room? This sad-looking corner of the backyard of the property was crying out for an upgrade. Fueled by a brew and a club biscuit, other biscuits are available, we set about fixing and waterproofing the exterior before working on the interior. Insulation panels were installed before fixing plywood to the walls and the ceiling. A few coats of emulsion later, and we laid some black wooden effect lino and added some foliage for decoration. Initially a mishmash of vivs and tubs and a tangle of wires, the critter cabin began to take shape. And fast forward to today. Come on in. Okay, so welcome to our reptile room. Just going to close the door. There we go, lovely and quiet. So as you can see, it's a little bit compact and bijou. It is about 3 metre by 3 metre. It's a steel framed shed with insulation and then plywood walls to try and keep the heat in. We've obviously got a little bit of a vent there just to allow some airflow. But we seem to maintain a regular temperature in here of around 21 degrees. Falters a little bit in the winter, but we can add additional heat if we need to. Anyone that knows the UK climate will know that we're in February right now. We generally have temperatures around the same as a fridge outside, so somewhere in the region of sort of 5 degrees during the day, going down to the minus maybe 2 or 3 at night. So yeah, it can be a little bit of a challenge keeping the room at a good ambient temperature, but we seem to be managing it with trial and error. We've found a few ways to just make sure that it maintains that steady 21. Right, so let's get down to the tour here at the entrance. We start with the most recent shed from our boy Boa Titan, who's 7 years old. We think he's about 8 or 9 feet long, hard to know for sure, but an impressive shed, definitely. Takes pride of place on the wall. We try to keep our snake hooks in easy reach, nice and neat and tidy, secured on the wall. Now we move round to the shelf. Now it's just a shelf, a self-built shelf from Homebase. It wasn't too expensive, and the shelves are adjustable, which is going to be useful because there have already been many variations of furniture in here, and no doubt we'll change things around many times again. But we're starting on the top here. This is where we keep our baby corn snake hatchlings. They're around 6 months old now. We keep the information on these little cards just to remind ourselves of when they were laid and when they were hatched. So we've got our normal wild type, ghost, amethyristic, the angry one, Another normal, amethyristic, butter, a melanistic. They're mostly hiding away, but we're going to have a quick look and see if we can see butter. Hello. Hi there. Just make sure that's nice and secure. What else have we got? We've got the normal wild type here. This is the one that's not eating very well. We're still having to assist feed. So he or she, very small in comparison to the others, which are absolutely thriving. Each of these corn snakes is in a 9-litre really useful box that we get from Homebase. These are fantastic we find anyway, for smaller reptiles, babies. We obviously drill holes in them, make sure that they are well ventilated, no sharp edges, but they're really secure. They are easy to stack, easy to store, easy to clean, which is really important. And then at the back of each one, if you can just associate, we have a line of heat mats to keep them nice and toasty. Also on the top shelf here we have Lydia, our Brazilian white-knee tarantula, who's about a year old. Just going to gently move this around so that you can hopefully see where she's been webbing up her cave. Look at that. Look at that. Moving down to the Viv, down here we have Mac. Mac is a 3-year-old corn snake, caramel. And it's just hiding away at the moment on the cool side. I'm going to just see if I can lift that up and give you a little peek. Beautiful. Hello there. Hello there. Okay. So down, we don't want to upset you. You will have seen Mac in one of our earlier videos about corn snakes. Go. Pop that back in. Nice and secure. And finally on this shelf is where we keep all our paraphernalia that we need to keep our snakes healthy and look after them. We got the tongs for when the feeding response is just a little bit more enthusiastic. We have our cleaning materials, good old F10. Gloves for handling Medusa when she's also feeling a little bit cranky. And then all the various bits and bobs, spare hides, calcium powder, little mixing tubs, spare plugs and bulbs, and you know, all the usual bits and bobs that you find around a reptile room. Moving over to the other side of the room, we've got our water sprayer, obviously a rather complex plug arrangement for all of the electrics, but we try to keep them nice and neat and tidy. They are taped to the wall to keep them straight and neat, not tangled, and they're all labelled as well, so we can easily identify which plugs go to which heat sources, etc. Try and keep nice and organised and easy to identify what goes where. Moving over to the other side of the room now, starting with Amethyst. Amethyst is our red factor lavender corn snake, about a year old. There was no way I was going to write Amethyst on the glass, so Amy for short. But yeah, amethyst. Hoping she's a girl, and we haven't actually sexed her yet, but we're hoping to do that in the next few weeks, with a view to perhaps breeding her when the time is right. Amethyst usually likes to hang out over on the cool side of her viv. She's usually to be found in this corner here, but predictably today she isn't, so let's just see if we can find her. I think she's over in the back. Let's just move that. Beepo. There she is. Hi. Hello, beautiful. Hello there. Hi. Are we disturbing you? I'm sorry. Okay, there you go. So that's a little looking amethyst. Let's just get that closed up. Make sure they're all nice and flush. Put the bung back in. So that's amethyst, our 1-year-old corn snake in the 2 foot by 1 foot viv. Moving on to the next one. Below there we have the big boy, Titan. Titan is our oldest boa. He's about 7 years old. And right now, there he is. Hi there. Hello, big boy. He's just chilling in his hide. Moving on, next to amethyst and above Titan, we have Car in a 5 foot by 2 foot viv. Again, he's in his hide. He's one of the 2 younger boas. He's about 3 years old. So let's just have a look and see if we can see him. Let's get that bung out. There we go. We'll just gently lift this up. Not going to disturb it for too long. You look beautiful. Here he is. Hi, Car. I'll leave you alone now. Say hi to everybody. Pop that back down. And we'll get that closed up. Put the bung back in. There we go. Next up we have Medusa, who's above Car. She is his sister. So again, about 3 years old. And if you've watched our previous Meet the Boa video, you'll know that she was a little more problematic, a little bit less keen on being handled when we first got her. But lots of work with her. She's now, I wouldn't say she's super keen, but she's a lot more tolerant. We had a lot of trouble with skin to skin contact to begin with, but now we don't need gloves anymore to handle her, and she's so much more relaxed and calm. So let's have a look, see if we can see her. There we go. Hello, pretty lady. Hi there. Quickly lift that up. I'm not going to disturb her for too long. Say hello. Hi there. Hello. Stunning eyes on her. Look at those eyes. She's a lighter coloured of the 2 boas as well. Okay, I'll pop that back down and we'll leave you alone. Just make sure that wedge is in. There we go. So above Amy here we have another one of our corn snake hatchlings, the wild type hypo that I call Lava. Moving here we have some crested gecko eggs that we were laid a couple of weeks ago. Just busy incubating. Going to candle those later. And then here we've got various ages of crested gecko hatchlings. So we've got the oldest ones that were hatched early in December last year. We have then hatched in mid-January. And then the newest edition hatched just a couple of weeks ago, and we only have one in there because unfortunately the sibling didn't make it and died during hatching, got trapped in the egg, and we weren't around at the time. Just managed to poke his little head out, but then sort of got trapped, and I think probably couldn't breathe. It's very sad, but that's the reality of breeding animals. So let's just take a look at this newest baby gecko. Not sure how much we'll see, but we'll give it a go. Just see the underbelly hiding there in the leaves. Absolutely tiny, maybe a couple of inches long at the most. Very, very sweet. There we go. I'm not going to open these up just because they are very, very jumpy, and I'm on my own right now, so I don't want to risk them getting away, and getting behind one of these vivs would be an absolute nightmare, so we're going to leave those alone, but I'm sure we'll do another video in the future with those little babies. And then finally moving over towards the door again, we've got a bit more practicality with a spare chair for when we're both in here, the all-important temp gun, one of the most important things that you need in your reptile room, and then some spare tubs, and they're good for just transferring animals over when we're cleaning them out or handling them, checking them over, you know, health checks. And then at the bottom here we've got some substrate just ready to go into one of the vivs when we're having a good clean out. You do try to keep it nice and clean and tidy. We've got the sweeping brush there. As well as all the critters in the cabin, we do house some reptiles in the cottage, including Spirit, our albino black rat snake, who's located in the bedroom. Also located in the bedroom, Kyoko, our leopard gecko. And then there's Aya and Pumpkin, our adult crested geckos, who are currently inside the cottage while they're breeding. And finally, our newest addition, Chiro, the pinstripe corn snake, who we believe to be around 3 years old, and was traded for one of our older baby Cresties, and is now quarantining for a month to make sure everything's fine before moving into the cabin. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and please do subscribe, as coming up in my next video, we visit Wild Discovery at Ribby Hall.